Greatest days in America that we've seen in a long time, a really long time. When I became president, I promised the American people a lot of things, a lot of things. And several years ago, I visited the Capitol in Charleston, West Virginia. Maybe it was in South Carolina. Charleston, there's a Charleston, West Virginia, and then there's a Charleston, South Carolina. And they both have Charlestons in them. South Carolina does in West Virginia. But there's one in South Carolina, and the one in, oh shit. Go to the top. Today may be one of the most special days in the United States of America that America's ever seen before. When I became president, I promised the American people a lot of things, a lot of things. And several years ago, I visited the Capitol in Charleston, West Virginia. It's West Virginia, not South Carolina. See, there's two Charlestons. There's actually one in North Carolina, I think, or maybe that's South Carolina. And there's also one in West Virginia. And quite frankly, I think the capital of South Carolina is in Charleston. I think so. Maybe it's the one in Charlotte. South Carolina, maybe, I don't know. I think so. But the one in Charleston, West Virginia is the one I visited when I was campaigning, when I brought, guess what I brought back to Charleston, West Virginia? Coal mining. I'm very proud of that. I brought coal mining back. And I remember standing there with the governor then, and Jim Justice was his name. And I wore this cap, like a cap on my head, you know. And I said, wow, coal mining's gonna come back. We're going to forget about all the things the Democrats were talking about. They were talking about some really crazy stuff, the war on the environment and all of that. And I think that those coal mines shut down like 20 years ago. All of them shut down, each and every one of them. But the people in West Virginia were so hungry, they didn't have jobs. I heard they were actually eating their cats and dogs because of the coal industry was shutting down. It was shutting down, and it was bad, very bad. Very, very bad. So Governor Jim Justice, he invited me down. Governor Justice is a great guy. He's a really great guy. And I like him. I like him a lot. He called me and said, I need you to come and rally and help coal mining come back. And I said, would I ever love to do that? And I did. I promised like no other promise. You see, I promise and I keep my word, unlike Sleepy Joe and Camilla, or Kamala, whatever her name is, it doesn't matter. She lost. She lost the election. In fact, they stole the election from me one time, but you know, that's, I don't care. When I was on the steps of the Capitol that day, a lady came to me and she introduced herself. She said, Mr. President, I want to tell you who I am. I said, who are you? She said, I'm Patti Belcher. Well, she and I talked for a long time, and I found out she was a beautician type, cosmetology worker type person, and we talked briefly, and I asked her if she had the skills to take some of the really ugly women, which have really ugly hair, and make them beautiful again, and she agreed to take the challenge. And from that day on, we've been talking a lot. We've been talking a lot about a lot of things, and today I'm here to announce the creation of one, if not the most important departments of the United States government, and that is the Department of Homeland Beauty. The purpose of this department is to make America's women, guess what, beautiful again. There's really a lot of ugly women out there and a lot of bad looking women, but we're going to make them really pretty again through an initiative that's going to make them really, really, really pretty. A lot of the women started staying home because of the Chinese virus, and we all know what that was. Under Sleepy Joe, he stopped taking care of the people, and then the women started staying home and not taking care of themselves. They wouldn't get their hairdos done, whatever they do with their hair. They wouldn't get them done. Some men started liking other guys or whatever, and it was really bad, I don't know. They were just really out of control. Ugly women will be ranked in our country in 5 different categories, I think. In fact, they really are. Ugly category number 1 will be those women who are a little bit ugly with room for quick improvement. They'll be required to purchase a $100 beauty voucher from the government to take Patti for basic hair work to do. Categories will lead from ugly category 5 to ugly category 1. I mean, a complete overhaul of work will be required for category 5s. Those will be required to purchase a $500 beauty voucher. The ones under the first category, just a $100 beauty voucher. Ugly women refusing treatment will be sent to Florida to Ugly Alley, which is ironically next to Alligator Alley. It's right next to each other. And that's where those cartels are. I don't know, a cartel, I think they're Mexican people that have cars that have like tails or something on their cars. I don't know. I don't know what they do. I don't know why they call them cartels. But Ugly Alley will be a place where ugly ladies can talk to each other and have conversations, and then they can make a decision to make America beautiful again. The Bible says, and I love the Bible, it has 2 books in it. The Bible has 2 books. It has like the Old Testament and then the New Testament. One of them has red letters in it. It's like real special. They take crayons or something and put the red letters in it. It's really pretty, so it's really nice, and it's a perfect book. But how will this be accomplished? Patti will be setting up and training beauty specialists at her salon in Chapmanville, West Virginia. Close to Patti's home is an old post office that Obama shut down in his era. He was probably the worst president we ever had. He was the worst president. He was horrible. But we're going to reopen the old Shively post office, which will allow Patti to experience better government efficiency. We're all about saving money in our government. The Democrats want to spend. We want to save. And she will be able to get her mail closer to her home, allowing her more time to fix ugly women's hair while training other salonists and those people that do hairdo makers and all that, the fixers up of the women. She'll actually be able to travel from Smokehouse to the old Shively post office to her salon in Chapmanville, West Virginia, saving our government tons and tons of money. Patti doesn't know this yet, but part of the budget for this undertaking was to provide each salon woman. We're not going to send them to men. Men are supposed to do men's hair. Women are supposed to do women's hair. But she's been approved by the best hairdo dresser women throughout the country. These are called something that we're going to pass out to each certified woman that's under Patti's direction. These are hair curlers. You can see that they open up like this, and the women with a lot of hair, they're going to use these pink ones, and the women with lesser hair are going to use the purple. It's like a rainbow, but not in a gay, homosexual way. And anyway, so they're going to be using these, and that's what we're doing. We're going to invest in the ugliness of America and make it beautiful again. That's what we got to do. We got to do that. We got to keep up with the other governments out there that are doing bad things, really bad things. So the Democrats have shut the government down because, quite frankly, they're stupid and they're ignorant, and probably they're going to hell. So that's why I'm adding this new department. I'll take just a few questions from the press. What's your name? I can't hear you. You're from CNN. Fake news. Erin Burnett, go ahead. What's your question? How's this going to be funded? We're actually going to be cutting Social Security benefits by 25%. That's a fantastic thing to be able to do. More disabled and old people are probably wanting to work again, and that makes sense, right? I mean, it just makes sense. They want to go back to work. And our former administration, Obama and Sleepy Joe, they were doing really bad things. They were just spending a lot of money, and women were getting a lot uglier. So that's the answer to your question, Aaron, and I'm sorry you work for fake news. I really am. So the other question is from Lester Holt from NBC News. I thought you were retired now. Anyway, Lester is a black guy, and he's in the back of the room. But anyway, what's your question? I can't hear you. Okay, it says, will all races qualify for vouchers? Yes, we don't discriminate. We're actually going to have one salon in the country, one salon that's going to actually be staffed by 2 black ladies, and they're going to do a great job. Folks, this is probably the greatest thing we've ever seen in our country. Great things are happening. We have a lot of people that are interested in a lot of things. But one thing we got to do is make our women beautiful again. We got to get them good looking. And this is the way we're going to do it. That's all the time I have.